All right, welcome back. Now I want to deal with an attack that was reported, I think a couple days ago. Not even that long ago. I think it was reported today or yesterday. Surfaced on the 24th. So it's a recent case. It involves people being attacked by the same pit bull that they had adopted. Another one of those stories. Okay, and I'm going to share, well, they share the details.
A Volusia County couple is recovering after deputies had to rescue them from what they're calling a vicious dog attack. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagad.
And I'm Michelle Imparato. They say it was the second time the dog attacked in a week, just 6 weeks after they adopted it. The dog was...
Okay, the second time this dog attacked in 1 week. So what does that tell us? They knew what they were in for. They knew the risk before they adopted it. Now, some of you may say, oh, no, not the case. Well, after the first attack, they were aware at that point, and they decided to keep the dog anyways, because this is a part of dog culture for them to keep dangerous dogs. This is, remember, this is what has caused dog attacks to skyrocket. What did I say not long ago? I'm very consistent. The biggest difference is that people bend over backwards in this era to keep dangerous dogs alive, whereas a while ago, after the first attack, it would be euthanized.
In a week, just 6 weeks after they adopted it. The dog was ultimately shot and killed by deputies.
Well, 6 weeks, that dog fully understood where its food was coming from. It knew that it was attacking its only provider of food. So I don't want to hear this nonsense that it was unfamiliar with the owners or anybody inside the home for that matter.
SU's Haley Crumble-Home talked with a neighbor who says they were there when the attack started.
The attack was severe enough it sent 2 people here to Halifax Health, and the sheriff's office said they underwent multiple surgeries.
Hearing people scream for their lives and there is nothing that you can do is terrific. It's helpless. It's
Why is there nothing that you can do? Did you know that before you went into that home? I mean, they share information like this as if they didn't know that they could do nothing if it launched an attack. I mean, you never once said to yourself, hey, if this thing spazzes out, if it snaps and attacks, there's nothing I can do to stop it. See, I'm trying to look at people's basic intelligence and instincts, and it's not there. We all should be worried if in a large percentage of the population we don't use common sense, saying things that don't make sense.
terrific. It's helpless. It's awful.
This woman says she was inside her neighbor's New Smyrna Beach home when the couple's dog started attacking back on Mother's Day. She called 911.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's a dog attack.
She says the dog, a pit bull, according to the incident report, started biting the woman's leg. A man who lives in the house, the woman's significant other, tried to...
Okay, now you hear the details. They said that the dog simply started to bite the woman's leg. Dog so-called experts, all you fake experts, former experts, this is why I took your stripes. Nowhere in this report did they say that the dog's ear was pulled, tail was pulled. This is another unprovoked attack that you all have chalked up indirectly, at least chalked up as a provoked attack where somebody did something to the dog as a lie. This is the case in every report.
A man who lives in the house, the woman's significant other, tried to stop the dog, and the woman hid inside the dog crate.
When she was holding the crate shut, the dog was trying to chew her fingers off from the outside.
She crawled inside of the dog crate. as if she was the dog. She climbed inside of it, hiding from the dog that was attacking her. And she's saying that as she was inside the crate, she had to hold the door shut. And while doing so, the dog was trying to bite her fingers. So it knew what it was doing. This was not a reaction. See, they try to push these moments as if the dog wasn't aware of what it was doing. It knew exactly what it was doing. Trying to delete you. Its food dispenser.
Snapped. He just.
Now you hear what she said? You hear how she described this scenario? She said it just snapped. Young people, this is why I need y'all to understand. And this is why I made the thumbnail that I made. I don't care if there are adults inside the home. If there's a dog inside the home, you're in trouble. You're in danger. Adults can't do nothing either. They're just as helpless as a small kid themselves. So stay away from these mutants. When you see them, leave.
Crate shut. The dog was trying to chew her fingers off from the outside. He snapped. He just snapped. He was this loving dog, and that something just snapped.
She says
he was this loving dog before it snapped. See how it happens? See, all those lovely dogs that you know that haven't attacked you yet, guess what? One day it just may decide to. It doesn't care that you've rubbed it 100 times in its worthless life. See, y'all think that means something to dogs. You think they bond. Y'all constantly trying to humanize them. Don't care that you've been coming over or even that you fed it. It can just decide to snap and attack you out of nowhere. Again, young people, this is mainly directed at you because adults can't stop you from leaving. You most certainly can at least leave the room where a dog is. And you can definitely leave a classroom or anything.
Snapped. He was this loving dog, and that something.
No. They're not supposed to do that. According to the so-called experts, they don't do that. They don't just snap. Many of them specifically said that. They said dogs don't just snap. They don't just attack for no reason. You had to have done something. But yet, report after report, we hear the same thing. The eyewitnesses say that they just snap. So who are you, so-called experts, to say that that's not the case, that instead somebody did something to provoke it? No, these are all unprovoked.
Snapped.
She says the dog then started attacking the man.
He's still attacking. We really need help.
Now, where's the gun? If you're dumb enough to bring these killers inside of your home, you better at least have a gun on your waist at all times. Because if it attacks you, you might need for the gun to be right there on your waist. Or if it attacks someone else, it's right there on your person. It's not in another room or nothing like that. Where was the gun?
Incident report, someone tried to get the man his gun.
Does anybody have a gun? You said somebody's going to shoot it.
He's going to try to shoot him. He's trying to get it now.
He's trying to get the gun now. He wouldn't be trying to get the gun now if he had it on his waist. So what does this tell you? They were inside of that home still pretending that the dog was harmless. That is dangerous. People, that tell you right there, their brains not functioning properly. Inside the home, still pretending that the dog is harmless. And they never ended up shooting it. The cop had to come in and shoot it. What happened? The gun get jammed? Y'all went and got the gun. Did somebody not know how to operate it? Picked it up, started fumbling around with it, dropped it? Listen.
And try to shoot him. He's trying to get it now.
But it was ultimately deputies who shot the dog.
Ultimately, deputies who shot the... So there was a gun in the house. The attack started. Y'all called the police. And by the time the police showed up, y'all still hadn't shot the thing. Even though you told the operator on the phone that there was a gun and somebody was trying to shoot it. What happened? Why didn't y'all shoot it? You know that there's a serious mental problem when they're behind closed doors pretending that these things are harmless. See, it's one thing to go out in public or to take some photos with it, right? Take selfies with dogs. But after you turn the camera off and after you're behind closed doors, if you had any sense, you would be as cautious as possible, right? Where all this pretending that it's harmless is only for the internet. That's only for when you're taking it on a walk and stuff like that. But behind closed doors, you should know better. But no. Behind closed doors, they're still pretending that it's harmless. No gun. May as well had no gun. Nobody shot. The cop had to come shoot it. So this is some type of mental disorder where their brain is just not functioning properly. It's not.
Opening fire when they saw the dog attacking the man. They had to fire a third shot after the dog began to charge the deputies.
I've replayed it with my partner who was there, and I've replayed it with them. And if any one thing, it's not that it could have been better.
Check her out. She looking all exotic, isn't she? All black. Got the mohawk going. Got the black fingernail polish. Hey, I'm not passing judgment. I'm just seeing a pattern here. Tattoos. Sort of like that lady who let that pit bull onto a bus. Yeah, one of these types of people right here. Same one that let that pit bull on the bus. I'm seeing a pattern here. So often, it's these women who most likely don't have a man at home, but they are sure in love with dogs. Okay. Let's finish this.
One thing, it's not that it could have been better. If any one thing were different, it would have been far worse.
Third shot after the
partner who was there, and I've replayed it with them. And if any one thing, it's not that it could have been better. If any one thing were different, it would have been far worse.
Now, is this after the attack? Okay, this is the man. Remember, he was attacked as well. Dog attacked him too. And I guess this was the lady who hid inside of the dog crate. Y'all had a dog so large, a human could fit inside of it. And it still never dawned on you that this thing could attack at any moment? I don't trust people who don't use common sense. And dog lovers, y'all need to understand this. It's very understandable if people don't want to be around you and don't want to come to your home to visit you. That's a scary world. You're going to push more and more people away. Fewer people are going to want to be around you. These types of attacks are on the rise right now.
The woman we talked to said that her neighbors are recovering, and the sheriff's office said they got a note from them saying if deputies had arrived 1 second later, they wouldn't have made it out alive. In Volusia.
Why not? You had a gun in the home. What happened to the gun? Just delusional as all get up. This is the scary part, dog lovers. This anti-dog crowd that's growing here in the United States, you can't guilt shame us. You can't. Because it makes so much sense to avoid these things and their owners. Do y'all know something else? I don't think I pointed this out yesterday. Y'all remember this recent attack where an 85-year-old woman was killed by her own dog? Do y'all know, at the moment, she was trying to feed them. She was on her way to feed them. Oh, yes. Free food. The welfare queens of pets, the welfare queens of the animal kingdom, even though these are not real animals, they were in the process of receiving free food and decided this is a good time to attack, and didn't stop. She was killed. They probably continued to attack. Now, who's going to feed you now? Dumb mutt? They're not even that smart. Where your food gonna come from now? Killed her as if half the time they hunt for their food. When you look at how dumb and brainless these things are, you understand they should be euthanized because of how dumb they are. Well, anyway, this woman, look at this. They decided to try to give an explanation. And they said that the reason they attacked her was because they became food aggressive. Food aggressive. How dumb. See, lions can be food aggressive. They're allowed to function like that because they can go out and kill something else themselves. The dumb dog can't. Never hunted for food a day in its worthless life. Why on earth would they attack their owners? Can't make this up. Now, this is a direct quote. Said, we feel it was because during the feeding times, the other dogs became territorial, along with the dog that attacked her. And our investigation is leading us to believe that that's why she was attacked by her own dog. How smart is that? Y'all not allowed to refer to creatures like this as intelligent. No. I will never accept any argument that dogs are smart or even remotely intelligent. No, they're not. Because this is a life and death situation. We're talking food here. And they've established that they're willing to kill their only source, the only provider of food that they have. So that's the most significant display of stupidity possible. So nothing trumps that. Nothing. I shared this story a few years ago. Well, not a story. I shared information a few years ago where they discovered that dogs will ignore a lethal threat if there's food around, it can be confronted with a superior killer, and its mind will be taken off of the killer if there's food around. They're that dumb. They're designed to be dumb. And it's permanent. There's nothing they can do to stop it. Don't ever accept people trying to push these mutants off as intelligent. Now we have to deal with these pathetic stories from dog owners, and they don't work. Simply put, they don't work. You don't have a fuzzy, harmless rabbit. You don't know these dogs. Even if you raised it from a puppy, none of you know these dogs. You don't know what's going on in their minds. The fact is, even if you raised it from a puppy, it is a threat. It's a ticking time bomb that could go off at any moment. And this is most important for young people who can't leave the home. That's the scariest. That's the scariest or the most afraid demographic that might listen to these videos or follow dog culture critics, where it dawns on you that your dog, Rover, will attack you. See, these people, this is a big problem with dog culture. Y'all think that the dog will never attack you simply because you feed it. That's the problem with these dog owners. Y'all have too much confidence. Way too much confidence in the assumption that the dog will never attack you because it sees you as its food provider. No, they're dumber than that. Y'all just haven't caught on to how dumb they are. See, y'all are giving the dog benefit of the doubt. You assume the dog has common sense. That's what you do. All of you who think that because you feed the dog would never attack you of all people. No. Again, you're giving it the benefit of the doubt, assuming that it has common sense. They don't. And I don't know how many times they have to prove it to you. Young people whom I feel the sorriest for, who is the victim of a crime being carried out by their parents who acquired the dog. I need all of y'all to understand there is a threat inside of your home, and it is that dog. That is a simple fact. These are killers. They kill adult men, no matter how big they are. And those men can't stop the attack. Y'all need to stop living in Wonderland. In the real world, these are killers. You are in danger whenever that thing is inside of the home. You better talk to your parents ASAP. Tell them about it. Tell them to get a rabbit and hope for the best. And the best of luck to you. Shout out to everyone able to join me for this live stream. Shout out to Tata in the super chat. Said dogs cannot bond. They need a source to exactly. And that's one of the things they assume about dogs. We bond, so they assume dogs bond. No, for you to even assume that is primitive thinking on your part. They're not thankful. They don't appreciate nothing that you do. In fact, when you feed your dog look at that moment as it dominating you. They see that as a display of dominance. Yeah, fix my food, slave. Because in dog packs, they don't give each other food. Y'all don't even use common sense dealing with these things. Why wouldn't you try to duplicate the ways that dogs train other dogs? They use violence, intimidation. And that's the whole concept or idea behind Caesar's approach, the alpha approach. You got to use a relationship that dogs naturally use themselves in dog packs, and that is what? Aggression. They're not giving over food. No animals do that. Why would you raise them using tactics unfamiliar with them and unfamiliar with all life? Nothing provides food for nothing else. You got to at least replicate that part of nature. Shout out to everyone able to join me for this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.